What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today we're doing something just a little different. This is a restoration project I did on a vintage, I believe a 1970s Gretsch chrome over brass snare. And I did end up trading it for some old hardware I didn't have and was previously at a school. And I actually forgot to videotape it prior to me taking it apart. So here we go. Now here's an overall shot of the snare condition. There's the old sticker, and you'll see right by the tensioner there's a crater where it was dropped at some point, probably by a student. Inside looks good. Sorry about the unpleasant towel, but that's all I had. And also it had the wrong strainer. Someone installed a Ludwig one that's kind of broken, so I took that off eventually. There's the badge, just showing you the serial number and all that. And showing you some more condition. A lot of the scuffing and stuff you can't really see that well. There's another crater. I'll be repairing that. And just showing you it again. Just the overall condition. And one more crater coming up from these students just not taking care of it, dropping it. But I'll get it all fixed up. And the next step, I did take off all the hardware and the lugs. And now we are into the main part of the video, showing the actual repair to the snare. So we will basically taking out the dent and doing some PDR work that I forgot to film, but I will explain that in a moment. So basically we use a towel, put it down so you don't damage it at all, and then as well just a soft rubber mallet to get the main large dents out. And you have to do it very slowly because you don't want to push it through too far. Once you get all the large dents out as best you can and even as possible, you basically have to massage out the dents with your hands, which I forgot to film unfortunately. But you get the idea. And next you just have to get the Dawn Dishwasher Soap, as if it's good enough to get oil off the birds, it is good enough to clean up a snare. And it's definitely not too abrasive, and it definitely took off the sticker really easily, even though it was quite old. And this snare was pretty nasty. Doesn't show it too much in the video, but a lot of cleaning had to be done. And this is a trick I learned from R. David R. Basically, you get some tinfoil, some water, and it removes all of the gunk, any sort of surface rust without scratching the chrome. That's tinfoil on chrome only. Don't do it on aluminum or brass or anything like that, as it will scratch the crap out of it. And you're curious why this actually works is when aluminum is rubbed against the rust, the aluminum loses electrons, while the iron oxide, meaning the rust, basically gains the electrons, turning it back into metal. Science, right? It works. And now the next step, we are cleaning all the hardware with the Dawn dish soap, just using something non-abrasive to get it nice and clean. And I'm just showing you now that just having it soak for maybe an hour, all the rust is gone. Look how clean those springs are. I don't have it before, but I see the muffler spring is right there, just to show the difference. Now we're just cleaning the muffler with a tinfoil, as you don't want to soak it, as there's the pads on the other side. Now just gave the hardware a rinse, a quick dry with a towel, and now just letting it air dry for a little while. Looks a lot better. And now we have to basically add the cotton balls inside the lugs, as the prior ones have deteriorated, and we don't want anything rattling when we're actually playing the snare. Super common thing to do. I learned that from R. David R. as well. So once all the cotton balls are in the lugs, you do have to reattach them. It's a bit tedious, so I won't make you watch this whole thing. So next, I'm adding white lithium grease into the lug. So putting a drop on the tension rod and screwing it in, as this will make tuning so much easier so the tension rods won't be getting sticky or stuck or harder to turn. And of course, it'll keep the lug in better working order. And off to the next step. So now I did order some new strings for the snare wires, and I did order a vintage Gretsch throw off as the only one that hit the proper hole pattern, as I didn't want to drill any more holes in this snare. So it was a bit pricey off eBay, but I think it's worth it just to keep the snare as original as possible. And you always do take a chance buying things off eBay for their exact size, but from what I could tell, this was one off a stop sign badge snare, and awesome, it fits. And then as you can see here, I did notice that the seller did not give me the spacers. So even with the screws all the way in, it does not hold it securely. So as you can see here, all the other screws have the spacer, which I do not. So it looks like I'll be going to the hardware store to figure something out. And surprise, surprise, the hardware store did not have anything like that. So I had to rig something up with washers, one large one and two smaller ones, but it seemed to work just fine. It's on there nice and securely, no issues. So now the last step, basically just have to attach the snares with the new snare strings. Of course, I'll cut up all nice, and I do plan to replace them with some pure sound snares later. And here we are, we're at the end. I think it turned out pretty well for my first major repair on a metal snare. As you can see with the throw off coming up, there's no more crater. I think it looks great. No issues. I'm just circling around for you so you can see all angles. It's almost in brand new condition, except of course a few minor flaws. I think it looks great for being back from the 70s, and this is without it even being polished yet. And I do plan to do that. And if you've watched the video this long, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a great experience for me, and I hope to do more of these videos in the future. If you guys like it, don't forget to like and subscribe.